What's happening, YouTube? Come on, come in.
What you guys doing? I'm sitting in Oklahoma City. Been sitting here since about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Got empty down, was it Chickasha, Oklahoma. Told me run 50 miles up here to get loaded, and six in the morning. That was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I got here, got backed into the dock, and I was picking up some styrofoam, or not styrofoam, but some kind of spongy stuff, whatever it is, made out of petroleum. So they said I could load at 6 in the morning. So I was like, okay, cool, I got time to kill. So I sat there. I've been sitting there for since 3. Sitting in the dock, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Then 6 o'clock rolls around. Well, they don't get here right at 6. You know, we come about 6:30, 6:45. Okay, whatever. I had a good night's sleep. Now, then it come out about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Tunk, tunk, tunk. Hey, you ain't got any vents on your trailer. Yeah, so what? Well, you're supposed to have vents on your trailer because this is a petroleum product. It's got fumes coming off of it, and it needs to air out. Something with the way it's made or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so you can't take this load because your trailer don't have vents. I'm like, okay, great. Well, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, come to find out, I don't know if it's just today or if it's all the time, you know, doesn't have much freight coming out of it. So I got my full 10-hour break in. Then you got these Elogs now. You know, you used to have paper log. You kind of fudge them. Keep the honest person honest. You know what I'm saying? That's what paper logs did. And now they got the Elogs. I haven't been driving over the road, but everything's kind of gone to crap around where I've been working, so they sent us out on the road, or else you lose your truck and all that stuff. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. But there's your Elogs. So I'm fully ready to drive now. There's a truck stop over there about 3 or 4 miles. Now with these Elogs, if I start and I drive over there those 3 miles, so I can get a shower, something to eat, you know, sit and watch TV for a little bit till they find me another load. There's no loads coming out. So I've been sitting here waiting for them to find a load. I don't know if they're going to find a load or not. But, you know, I got a full time of sleep. And, you know, you only nap so much, you know, when you're waiting for a load. But point being is these Elogs, you know, with trucking, one of the things I like about trucking is every day's different and every situation. I have never been here, you know. I've never been here. I've never been doing what I'm doing right now. You know, it's cool because, you know, it's just, that's what I like about it. Now, back when I had paper logs, you know, you just drive over the truck stop, take your break, you know, and you just don't write it down. But you know, there's no harm in that. And you see, you can kind of fudge with paper a little bit. And the government doesn't like that. They want absolute control over you. They want 100% control over you. okay? Because the government knows how to drive this truck and operate this truck better than I do. You know, to me, it would be better for me to be over there relaxing and stuff like that, but here I'm sitting in this truck all day, okay? Because I have to work with these e-logs. You know, and I'm telling you, they are not safe. They're not safe because here, so what happens, I've been up, I'm off duty, you know, I've been in a sleeper berth, I'm off duty, I've got plenty of off duty time. So now what's going to happen? They're going to say, hey, you got a load picking up such and such place, so then I can go. But now I can't stop and take a shower, you know, because I got 14 hours to get done with everything that I got to get done. So I'm going to run, get loaded, and try somehow to make it work. And I don't know how I'm going to make it work. I make it work fine with paper logs right now. I could say the rule is stupid right now and it should not apply, so I'm not going to apply it right now, and I'm going to do that. You know, now people think, you know, a lot of people are scared of truckers and all this stuff, but you know, you got to realize, I don't know how many millions of miles I got, but I got plenty, and I ain't killed nobody yet, and I ain't hurt nobody yet, and I'm not trying to put myself in jeopardy or anybody else's self in jeopardy. I know there's a lot of truckers out there that, you know, don't care, and they're just, you know, doing speed or whatever. I don't know what the heck how they do what they do. But, you know, you get one bad apple and then they change the rules on everybody trying to get control of this, you know, multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar industry, you know. So now I'm sitting here in a parking lot. I've been sitting in this parking lot for going on 24 hours. I'm tired of sitting. My back hurts. I'm tired of sitting in this chair. But as soon as I get a load, I got to go get it. And then I got to use my 11 hours, you know. And so I'm sitting here saying, what I would rather do is drive until I get tired and then stop and get my, you know, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, because that's really all I need. All I really need is like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm up and good. But, you know, normally it's, you know, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, you know, and keep going, and I can keep this stuff going, and it's safe. That is a heck of a lot safer than what I'm going to probably have to do tonight. I'm probably going to get a load around 2 or 3, maybe. Who knows? I may be sitting here all until tomorrow. But if I knew that I was going to be sitting here tomorrow, I'd just drive over to the truck stop and I'd take my extra 8-hour break. But right now, I'm on, you know, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know. That's another thing I like about trucking. It's always a surprise. You never know what you're doing. Well, sometimes you do, you know. But I mean, with this, but that's, you know, this is different than what I have been doing. With what I have been doing, I used to run about, you know, 300-400 miles a day, and I knew I go up and I go back, and I was done, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Now I'm sitting here in this parking lot for, you know, 18 hours or whatever. And it's like, I mean, that's frustrating enough. But then, you know, some bureaucrat or, you know, control freak is going to, you know, give me a tongue lashing if I go drive to the truck stop. You know, you're falsifying logs. Oh my gosh. You know, you can't do that, you know. And people get fired and lose their livelihood over this stuff. So you can't do it. I have to sit in this parking lot and look at the same stuff that I've been sitting in for whatever. But that's what these e-logs do. You know, it sounds good. It sounds good to people who don't know, who's never sat in a truck before. You know, oh, they can't cheat them. No, you can't cheat them at all. No, not even a little smudge. You know, sometimes the rules don't make sense. And I'm sorry, but going to my congressman and trying to explain that to him and trying to get him to change the law, which actually I don't think it's even, the laws are even made by congressmen. These laws that I'm driving under, they're made by the Department of Transportation. So I'd have to go to a bureaucrat and try and convince them, and they've been doing that. OOIDA, Owner Operator Independent Drivers Association, has been doing that for years, trying to explain exactly what I'm going through right now, why these things are dangerous. But nobody cares, you know. I mean, whatever. You gotta, you know. But then if I pick up this, go pick up a load and I drive and I'm tired, but I gotta keep going because my E-logs are saying, you know, if you stop now, you're gonna be burning up your 14. Then you're only gonna get. The screwball effect is just gonna keep going on, and it's gonna screw me up for days. And you know, but if I go and do something, then they're all them dirty truck drivers, you know. Well, it's your stupid E-logs. You know. And another thing, the load that I was just almost on, okay, I have 11 hours of driving time. And so why I came here and I sat in the dock was because it was 11 hours and 6 minutes, according to my GPS, on going to Lakeville, Minnesota from Oklahoma City. So I had 6 minutes over 11 hours. And so what does that make you think if you're a driver? Well, if I get here and I take my 8-hour break at the dock, and then I take off as soon as I get loaded, and I take off and I drive that 11 hours straight, and if I push the speed limit, if I push what I would normally do, and if I get in a race and I try and beat the clock, I can get in that dock and take my 8-hour break or 10-hour break or whatever it is. I've been doing this for a long time, so I got the old rules mixed in with the new rules. But you know, I get in that dock in Lakeville, Minnesota, I can take my break, get unloaded, and then I got a fresh hour's run. And this happens a lot. You're sitting there, see, they think also that, you know, you should have a 30-minute break, because a 30-minute break will keep you safer. Okay, well, let me tell you something. If you start at 9 o'clock at night, or 7 or 8 o'clock at night, there's this time when you're driving at night. I call it the twilight zone. You know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. That's your twilight zone. That's because, man, that's where you fight and sleep the hardest, you know. And you know, well, what has happened to me a couple of times is I'm driving there, okay, and it's in the winter, and I'm good if I'm driving. I'm good. I'm kind of a intense guy, you know, when I'm driving. So when I'm driving down the interstate, you know, as long as I'm going and I'm watching them exits fly by and I'm just doing my thing, I'm good. It keeps me occupied. My mind is an active mind. My mind's always going. But then this 30-minute break comes up. Every 8 hours you have to take a 30-minute break so you can finish off the rest of your 11 hours. So I'm driving at night. Think about this. This is a recipe for disaster. I've been sitting here all day. So I get loaded at 7 o'clock tonight. Okay? And this is just a hypothetical thing. 7 o'clock tonight, I get loaded out the door, you know, 8 o'clock. So 3 o'clock in the morning rolls around and I got to take a 30-minute break. So I'm driving in Illinois or someplace, you know, and it's cold, so I'm going to leave the truck idling so the heater's running. So now it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to keep going because, you know, it's just the nature of the beast. So I take I pull off on, you know, at a rest area. You know, there ain't nothing to do a rest area, so you pull off because you got to pull off where you pull off, where you can find a parking spot, because there's no parking spots for trucks in the middle of the night. So you pull off where you can. You set your brakes. You ever heard a truck idle? And you feel that heat blowing on you? And now my mind's not active. My mind is shutting down. And I got this warm air blowing on me. And I got this nice hum that I sleep to. You know. And then now I'm getting tired. You know, I was good when I was going. You know, as long as I'm staying active, I'm good when I'm going. But now I got, I'm getting, but, you know, and it's like, oh, crap, you know. Elogs, man. That's what the Elogs do. But you can't fudge them. Normally it's like, okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. That's what I do normally. But I can't go to bed because I'm legal to drive now. So when I'm legal to drive, I gotta drive. You know? So I gotta push it. This thing has caused me to push my driving beyond my safe limits. I don't like speeding. But you know what? If I'm going to get to Lakeville, Minnesota, and I got to cut off them 6 minutes, and I can't stop, and I'm going, hey man, I'm going to give it hell, and I'm going to do the best I can, you know, to make this thing happy. You know? Where I'd rather say, you know what? I'm going to go. If I get tired, I'm going to pull over. I'm going to take my nap. I'll take a 30-minute nap. I'll take a 2-hour nap, and I'll take it. And I won't even set my alarm. I'll sleep until I wake up. When I wake up, then I'm like, oh, I woke up naturally, and you know, my body got what it needed. I know my body better than the Elog does. And so I can say, you know, hey, cool, man, I woke up, now I'm ready to go. Well, you know, maybe I'm not abiding by the 14-hour rule completely. And maybe I fudged on the 11-hour rule a little bit. You know, but I got there. You know, I picked this up in the morning, and I got there in the morning to get unloaded in the 24 hours the way my body works. You know, and that's common sense. And you see, with paper logs, you know, you can only log like 650 miles a day. You know, so you kind of break it up, and you just kind of make it work. You know. And it keeps the honest people honest, because, you know, you can't log 1,400 miles in a day. You know, and I know there's ways of doing it, and I've never done that, and I don't want to do that, and all this kind of stuff. And most drivers don't. You know, you got the few bad apples that are out here doping it up and doing that stuff, and I guarantee you they're going to do it with that stuff anyway. There's ways to get around it. You know, but I ain't trying to do that. You know. You know, because if something does happen, God forbid, where I get an accident, no, you're not going to send my ass to prison, you know, because that's what they do with truck drivers. They send you to prison, you know. If you're 6 minutes over on your E-log, well, you shouldn't have been there, you know. Sorry. And it's like, oh, okay, so you go to prison. So I ain't trying to have that, but people think that this is making it safer, and it's not. You know, I'm in an uncomfortable place, but I am legal to drive, and I have to stay legal to drive. So I have to stay in this uncomfortable place when there's a comfortable place 5 miles over here, or 2 or 3 miles, I don't know how far, but if I move this truck at all, it's going to hit, and it's going to start my 14-hour rule, and I'm going to be screwed. So I sit in this parking lot, and I just think about that all day. You know? E-logs are not the answer. I mean, I haven't been making a lot of videos because things at work have been totally jacked up with the company that I drive for. I've been here 20 years. Call me Steady Eddie. But, you know, haven't been able to pay myself for 2 months. You know, I'm basically out here driving for free. I have been, you know. But hopefully it's coming around now, but now I'm sitting in Oklahoma City for 24 hours and maybe 48, who knows. You know, it's hard telling how long I'm going to be sitting here. But, no. I just want people to know how these E-logs are. They're jacked up. And they're not a good thing. I would much rather have somebody like me doing it the way I've done it for 20 years and never had an accident, you know. I mean, I've had little fender benders and stuff like that, but I mean, you go 2-3 million miles or whatever, however many it is, 4, but probably around 3 and some change, maybe, I don't know, 20 years. But whatever. What do I know? I'm just a dumb truck driver, you know. See, and that's another thing. I do this because I like it. I could do a lot of other stuff, you know. I could work in an office, but I'm not a people person, you know. I don't like somebody. I don't kiss butt, you know. I'm not gonna be, you know, telling you that you're great just so I can, you know, stay in good. You know, which is why I'm in Oklahoma City and I'm not running local. I could do that, but I'm just not that kind of guy, you know. I call it the way I see it, you know. I'm honest. I tell you the truth, you know. If I think you're an idiot, I probably won't tell you. But I sure ain't gonna tell you that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread either. You know. I know. This is the nature of the industry. They're really ruining it, you know. You know, I ain't got nothing to hide, but man, it's just, you know, common sense, man. What happened to common sense? I thought I saw something. I'm on minds.com. I don't Facebook. I don't want friends. You guys are the closest thing I got to friends. But, I mean, I got my friends, you know. But, no, what was it? It said, when government controls everything, or, well, I can't remember what it said. When government takes the joy out of living, by implementing absolute control, the only joy in life is dismantling the government that is obsessed with absolute control. I think it was something like that. You know, which is kind of funny. I was like, ooh, that's good. That's good stuff. Because, I mean, with this stuff, I see that. I mean, because, you know, yeah, I mean, but you need to know what E-logs are, because they're putting your family at jeopardy on the interstates of America. And, you know, so here I am eating peanuts, and I could be eating some fried chicken or something. Almonds and peanuts and raisins and crap. Sucking on water. Can't even get a cup of coffee out here. You know. But I'll go lay down and get sleepy, maybe. And then they'll call me and say, you gotta go. Bam, Johnny on the spot. I'm ready to roll. And then I'll push it. You know, this guy, they always send these safety messages out. One of them says, if you get tired, pull over and take a nap. I replied to it and I said, I can't. I have E-logs. If I get tired, I got to keep going because my E-logs are going to eat me alive. If I pull over and stop and take a break, I can't stop and take a break. How can you stop and take a break when you got 14 hours to get what you got done? You got to do it when it's time to go. You got to go. And you got to go until you're done going. There is no room for, human, oh, I'm tired, I think I should stop. No, I have to keep going. Because if I don't keep going, either I'm going to get yelled at because the load didn't get there, or I'm going to get yelled at, or whatever, or, you have to keep going. I'm going to lose my job if I don't get the freight there on time. I'm going to lose my job if I screw up on those E-logs. I am tired. I would like to stop and take a half-hour power nap. Do me good, but I can't. Because I'm up hard on my 14 hours, and if I got 3.5 hours left to run, and I got 3 hours and 15 minutes to get there, I can't stop, because as soon as I stop, my 14-hour rule is starting to eat up my 30 minutes, and then I got to take a 10-hour break 10 miles away from the receiver. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. Drive the 15 minutes. Drive the extra 15 minutes and get it done and get ready, and then you get a good break. But no. And then when that happens, you think you can go to bed there? No, you're so pissed off because you're 10 miles away from your receiver. You're pissed off because this stuff is so stupid. And, people, I know there's a lot of idiots in the world. There's a lot of good people in the world too. And if you just let people be free, most of the time they're going to make the right decision. If not, I think there should be one law called the stupid law. You have one law and you have a jury. And if anybody accuses you of being stupid, hey, I think you're stupid. All right. Well, let's go to court, figure it out. Well, you were stupid because of X, Y, and Z. Well, I don't think I was stupid because of L and M N O P. And then jury goes away and says, guilty. You're stupid.